Alright, so this video is going to be showing different ways to use runes than just the standard uses. Like, normally when people get a rune, they're going to, like, say it's a DD, they're going to want to fight. If it's a haste, they're going to want to, run around, be aggressive. If it's an arcane, they're going to want to use a big spell. If it's a regen, they're going to want to heal. Just standard things like that everyone thinks of. But these are going to be different uses for the different kinds of runes. And the conversation started on Reddit when someone was asking how to use illusion runes effectively, other than just sending them on somebody. So let's start there. So say we pop illusions. We have wards in our inventory because we're a support. What we're going to do is walk right here up to a ward spot. Obviously we're not going to know these dire wards are there in our own game, but that's just to show that there is vision. So we'll walk up, turn right here, and then just walk away. Now, they're going to see this and think you warded, so they'll probably blink on you, waste a spell, realize it's an illusion, be sad that they blew their ult. Or there's also the chance
I'm getting a second wind. When did the enemy's top tower fall? Pay attention, Melonhead.
that they see you place this, can't react to it in time, but just assume you warded there because of what they saw, and they just wasted 100 gold. So doing that gives you the advantage of either baiting out sentry wards or baiting out spells from an enemy hero. Both are pretty useful. Now,
I'll not argue.
the next one on the list, DD is honestly not that. There's not a whole lot you can do with the DD, right? Like, you're just going to want to go on something. You want to either kill a hero. I'm not killing X because I have him there to keep that tower alive. You could farm, which isn't really ideal.
As you bid.
You could run in here, force a team fight or something by going on their anti-mage. You could take an objective, which we're going to save this low health tower for a different rune. Or you could go Roche with it. Those are all, standard. No one's going to be surprised on what to do with a double damage rune. It's not a whole lot of options. But next on the list is Arcane. You might be thinking, okay, Storm really benefits from an Arcane rune. Black Hole's a long cooldown. Surely Enigma could use an Arcane rune. But say you're in a position like this where the enemy team is stronger than you and your team isn't ready to force a fight. So the Arcane rune could be good on Storm, could be good on Enigma, but when you're behind, if you don't think you can win a fight, what would be better is to take it on the Arc Warden. Come over, some creep somewhere is alive. Instead of your normal 82 second cooldown from your cooldown reduction talent, you now have a 55 second cooldown. So doing this is going to help your Arc Warden come online sooner by getting another Midas use, almost 30 seconds earlier than he would normally. Plus his ult's going to be up again sooner, which is also nice. Even though his clone doesn't get the Midas cooldown, the ability itself is still almost up already. So that in its own right is useful. But that's pretty much all I have for Arcane runes that's not, your standard use. DD we've already been over. Haste is the example I was going for. Obviously the point of a haste is just to get from point A to point B faster. Doesn't really matter what your objective is, that's always going to be the same. But in a situation like this where there's a low health tower, but there's an axe here that can kill you, You can blink to him to cancel, smoke him, hit that tower a couple times, and just run away, hasted. And there's not a whole lot he can do about it, because you canceled his blink when you hit him. He's smoked, so he's going to move slow. Sure, he can blink and try to call you, but chances are he won't know exactly where you are with the haste rune. So, effectively, you should be able to just take a low health target and get away unpunished, if you play it well. You won't always, but there's not a whole lot you can do about that. Nothing goes perfect 100% of the time. Anyway, next up is a regen rune. Normally you would use it on someone like this Ricky here who's missing health when everyone else is full. Or you could use it on Storm for, you know, some really long zips, but... Oops, I did that too early.
Your bottom tower has fallen.
Alright, there we go. What I like to do with a regen rune when I don't actually need it is use it on heroes like Storm to just flash farm, because they rely on spells and have low cooldowns. So you can do this, drop a spell, run over there, keep farming, come up here, still farming. See, normally if you were to fly around like this, you'd be wasting all your mana and not getting anything out of it. But if you have the regen rune, you can get quite a bit of just flash farm out of it if you're not in a situation where you really need it or need to fight. So that example could apply to heroes like Shadow Fiend, Zeus, Storm. Could apply to techies as well. You could just place bombs on cooldown, stasis on cooldown. Just expend as much mana as possible to get as many uses out of it as you can. Now, there's also the other use on a Storm, which is pretty unique to him specifically. But, oh no, I got it that time. Need to spawn another regen real quick. There we go. If you're playing Storm specifically, you can bottle it, zip somewhere, just activate the regen in the middle. You'll stop for a second running out of mana, but you can just keep doing short bursts. You get just a ridiculous amount of mobility out of that. But again, that's pretty hero specific. Most heroes don't have a spell like that to benefit from it. But it's there nonetheless. Something other than just healing for no reason. And I want to say that's most of the examples that I have. Let's try... Okay, I don't have a way to unlevel the Crystal Maiden. I forgot the command for removing bots specifically. But let's say you had an Invis rune. And let's say you're like a level 6 Crystal Maiden. Like you don't have any... You don't really have kill potential in most situations. You don't have a whole lot of damage. Let's pretend this Witch Doctor is a stronger hero than you, but he's over here farming. While you're waiting for a teammate to show up, instead of jumping the gun and forcing him to come out, you could just kind of hang around, follow him while he farms, leeching experience, getting something for yourself. So that's always one way to use it. But obviously the ideal use for the Invis rune is scouting to find the guy farming and set up for your ult, or whatever you're going to do to kill him. So, this one I feel like was probably a bit less, I don't know, it was probably less weird knowledge than the other ones, I guess you could say. Like, these are all a lot of uses that people already do in games, but
Time yet?
just because some people do them doesn't mean everyone
I
would
thought
know
as
to.
much.
So I figured I might as well see if any of this could be helpful to anybody. So yeah, those are more effective uses of most runes than just the straightforward ways. There's one more I can think of. I just need another illusion. There we go.
I move.
Wield the axe of axe. Wet my blade to me.
Alright, this one. Is, say you have a radiance, then split pushing on your illusions can actually be really strong. You can just send an illusion down 2 different lanes with your radiance. Get a decent amount of value out of it that way.
Forward.
But that's like the only time I would really use illusions to split push that way. But if you do send them by themselves, there's always a chance Axe will see it and blink on it or whatever. Given that one died to creeps because it was a low health crystal maiden illusion, but you get the idea. That's just...
Dire structures are fortified.
It's more effective than sending them both together because the radiants don't stack. And it's also more effective because if they only see one... If they just see one on the map, they might not automatically think it's an illusion, so they're more likely to go on it. And since you're not... Like, since they're not going to know that it's an illusion, they're probably going to try and be cautious, take a little time to set up on you. Which will give you time to get gold off of the wave with your radiance or whatever. But anyway, that's all I had to say about that one. Hope you guys liked it. I think it was a bit odd as far as videos go, I guess, but hopefully it's helpful. Thanks for watching.